They're dealing with death. They're dealing with the underworld. They're dealing with the afterlife. They're dealing with all kinds of sci-fi. They're dealing with all kinds of alternative living on a whole nother level. They got all these types of movies. You see what I'm saying? They becoming the hero. I saw a movie. It was a movie based on whether they was going to give money to Africa and raise Africa up. And raise Africa up. And they're doing all this kind of stuff. And I went to see this Silent Hill movie, which was a good movie. Good horror movie, because there's a lot of stuff in there. And during the previews, they got all these different advanced horror movies coming up, and the advanced sci-fi, and advanced this. And in the middle of that, they show a preview of a black movie where they're playing basketball. I'm like, how many? Come on now. If this is not by design, you got millions of dollars going to make these movies, the ones that, and especially the ones that actually get to go to the actual, theater, because there's thousands that come out that go straight to video. And you mean to tell me this is coming to the theater and this thing here is a basketball movie? Well, it's street ball. I mean, come on, man. My point here is, how stereotypical can you get? How, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like someone is deliberately keeping the people at a certain level
of consciousness.
That's the social engineering that we're talking about here.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So I just want to put that out there. And another other thing here is, because we're talking about the DNA. The other thing here is...
Yeah, I tell you, man, you know, it's funny, man, that you mentioned the DNA, man, because Time did a report called The Solved Mystery of DNA. You know, hey, matter of fact, hold on something, let them see this, man. Show them where they're going with this, because we want people to see what they are saying in this picture here.
It's interesting here because the whole DNA thing here...
I want you to take a look at this, because this is serious. Now, that is a sister.
A black woman and a white man.
Okay. Okay.
They started with this. They did a movie called Nova.
Okay.
Supernova.
Okay.
With Angela Bassett. And in the movie, the end result was, I can't think of the other guy's name that was in this thing, James Spader. And the end result is that they two merged together, and he had a blue eye, he had a black eye, a brown eye, and she had a blue eye. As to say that they energies merged together, it's about the black man, the white man, and the black woman. Now, it's interesting here because they had a movie that come out here in February called Something New. You see what I'm saying? Called Something New. Can't think of that black actress name. But anyway, in the movie, they got all these black people in the movie, Blair Underwood and all these particular people, and they all surrounded this black girl who's coming together. She's the new hot chick that did in a couple of movies. Can't think of her name right now. But anyway, she's coming together, and the whole thing is something new, as if to say that she hooks up with this white boy. As if to say that you need to try something new. You understand what I'm saying? You need to try something new. The point I'm trying to make here is I'm not really that much interested in going out here trying to encourage people not to marry interracial, not because of the simple fact that I'm some rainbow coalition. I just know that reality, black people gonna do what they gonna do.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not wasting energy on it. But it is another thing when the government is trying to do something on another level by encouraging the black woman to go out, because they know she's already distraught and all messed up because she can't find a certain man or whatever type thing here. So they can play on that vulnerability to push her in the arms of the white man, or either do the cosign saying, okay, white boys, now it's time for you can go and get you this black woman. I ain't gonna be no top-notch white man, but it's gonna be these nerd people.
Right.
But the problem is that they got money.
Exactly.
They be wimps, and no white woman will want them.
Right.
But they got money.
But they got money. Now, we noticed something on that magazine. Look what it says in the corner. Look, turn around and look at it. It says Countdown to War.
Countdown to War.
Now, the war is on the black DNA. Now, explain what they mean when they say war on the black DNA.
Well, the whole thing here is this particular thing here is...
Using the white man.
We're talking about, this is 2003. February 2003. Now, this was right before the Iraqi war. Now, it's interesting here because not only at this particular time here, about a few weeks after this came out, I think it was Newsweek put out a magazine. It had Beyonce, Star Jones was the two stars, and they had two other people in the business industry.
Mm-hmm.
These black women, and they're saying how these black women are succeeding far beyond the black man by leaps and bounds, and you know what I'm saying, as far as in business, as far as in economics and stuff, they're leaving the black man behind. Now, it's not by mistake that they put out that Newsweek a couple of weeks after putting out this.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not by mistake that they did this, you see, and how during the same time, Ebony magazine put out this thing about how these Jews had opened up a national registrar in Chicago to get black women to come in. This Jewish guy that owns this club, and how they come in and they meet these white guys and date them and marry them or whatever. And they said that they only wanted a couple of hundred to come with the club and sign up with the registrar. And they said that when it came down, it was 40,000.
They had to cut it off.
Yeah, to sign up, and they had to cut it off.
It was so many black women applying to get with these white boys, and the white boys said, we reached our quota.
And this became the template or the catalyst for other clubs and other groups, social clubs around America now, and in Europe, that is now, the new end thing is to get yourself a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So my point here is we're still talking about this DNA. You see, now I'm not necessarily concerned about the outer masses, because I know that they're going to do what they're going to do. They're controlled by the government. They are a creation of the government. But what I'm trying to say here is this is to make some sense of the madness of the people that's still into the conscious movement.
Let me ask you a question there for some. Now, there are some people, they may not understand what you say creation of the government. Qualify what you mean creation of the government through mind control. Explain that. So some people may not understand when you say people act the way they act as a creation of the government. So qualify that for me.
What I mean by that is basically just as we was bred
in slavery. Mm-hmm.
to be a certain characteristic, first as farm machinery, and later on as to be some type of entity in America, a servant. You see, just as we was bred, the same people that bred us have technologically kept a system going of breeding that can program us to this day. So we are these creatures. You see what I'm saying? We are these creatures of the American. Let me give an example of what's talking about. And I'm not going to necessarily say that it's specifically for black people, because in order to trap black people, they got to have a certain percentile of white folks that get trapped in certain things too. Let me give you an example. And as a result, they can get us. Because let me give you an example. There's a sister named Saudi, a Muslim sister raised from Los Angeles, raised Muslim. I knew her in the 1990s because she used to be good friends with my ex-girlfriend Ginger. And she was raised Muslim. Her father, they raised up in the Nation of Islam. Later on, a lot of those after Elijah Muhammad died became Orthodox Muslims or whatever. Anyway, the father got sick, died of cancer, was dying of cancer in the early 1990s. So before he died, he started seeing these visions, which a lot of people, when they get sick, they start seeing visions of the future. So she said that he called him to the bed and he started talking about the visions that he started seeing, and he said he was disturbed about all these people he saw, and black people that he saw, and American people, period, he saw driving around in these huge SUVs, sports utility vehicles. You see what I'm saying? Escalades, Tahoe Expedition, Navigator. Right. And he said, man, what is going on? He said, and stuff. So when she said this, I'm like, well, what is the prophecy? Okay, he saw in the future, and he saw us driving SUVs, but why was he upset about it? Now, the scene shifted because she didn't really, it didn't